So what did you miss at Jubilee today? Well, you missed 1,000 announcements. um, Celebration of community table having over 100 people yesterday. Brianne Swan introducing Resistance Church. The upcoming lecture series. Next Sunday's Muffin Church. An invitation to Greg Daly's covenanting service at Birchcliff Bluffs United Church next Sunday. You missed all of that stuff. But the core of the service, we began with the prophet Jeremiah lamenting for God that the people are stupid and that we are skilled at doing evil but do not know how to do good. Jeremiah goes on with calamity and desolation, and then at the end of a very depressing rant, speaking for God says, but I will not let the final come. I am purposed. I will not relent. I will not turn back. At first it sounds like God is saying, I am going to continue the desolation, except that if you listen carefully, what God seems to be saying is, I will not let the final desolation happen. And in fact, I am purposeful. And God's purpose, of course, is to bring us together in communion with each other and with God. I will not relent. I will not turn away. And so we found a way to engage with those words that were hopeful, recognizing that, in 2019, we look at the world around us and we are scared. And it's easy to become bleak and hopeless. Jeremiah was in a time when he was scared and the people were bleak and hopeless. There was invasion coming from the north. There were leaders who were denying the reality around them, and the people had lost their core values. We recognize that. But the message is that we should not give up hope, for God has not given up on us, even when we are acting like stupid children, even when it seems we have forgotten how to do good. God is purposed and will not relent and will not turn away. We will pay for our stupidity and our injustice and our lack of compassion, and it will be hard, but it will not be the end. And so we are invited into acts of hope. We talked about that a little bit today. We heard Luke's gospel and the two little parables of the shepherd who goes looking for the lost sheep, leaves the 99 behind to find the one, and the woman who finds the coin, cleans the house and finally finds it. Both of them celebrate. And so we acknowledge that it's wonderful to be loved by a God who loves us so extravagantly, so foolishly, as to always pursue us, even when we're in the minority, even when we're the one lost seemingly forever. God keeps looking until we are found. That's hopeful. But we also acknowledge that it's very likely that the shepherd, if not that night, then in the near future, was going to probably eat that lamb, because he wasn't raising pets. We acknowledge that the woman who found a coin celebrated and threw a great big party, which likely cost her money. And so we wondered, do we really want to be found? And once found, do we acknowledge that when God finds us, we will be spent? The lamb, the sheep, was used for food. That was the lamb's place in that economy. The coin was spent. I lost under a rug. It was of no value. But sitting in a corner stacked with other coins, it was also of no value. It's only in the spending that the value comes. And so we began to engage, to wonder ourselves how it is we might be spent for what Jesus called the kingdom of God. What we can imagine being a time of justice and compassion, a time when we are all loved, and not just because we suspect it, but because we know it. A time when we share our gifts, and our gifts make the community better, the world better. And we also heard a fantastic choir today and a magnificent quartet and saxophone vocal quartet and saxophone sharing over my head. There was so much hope and joy and energy in today's service, even as we struggled with a world that sometimes feels hopeless. And so we left, I hope, today feeling found and ready to be spent. So even if you weren't with us, I hope that you can take some time to consider your gifts, the things that you can do, but also the who that you are, and how who you are and what you can do might be spent for the kingdom of God, for a community of justice and compassion. However that sorts out, I do hope you'll come and share the results with us. I do hope we get to see you soon because we miss you. Until we do get to see you, God bless.